Hello viewers, welcome. Welcome to a very special episode of Let's Talk with Asian Sunday. We're here in the capital in London, and if you've been following what's been going on, then you will know that we have now officially launched Asian Standard London. And whilst launching Asian Standard London, we also celebrated some remarkable individuals. And I'm delighted to say that those amazing individuals, all of them being women, are here with me today. So we're going to have a very special Let's Talk with Manisha ji, with Hasina, and with Dr. Koirala. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're most welcome. How does it feel to be in London? Obviously, Hasina, I'll say central London to you, but obviously, how does it feel to be here? Let's start with you, Dr. Koirala.
Coming from a 38-degree to this is amazing. And it's my first time enjoying it, loving it.
Oh, wonderful.
And meeting all these amazing people. It's given me hope for the future of the world.
Oh, fantastic. How does it feel to be in central London?
It's
At the Taj.
great.
That's it. Yes.
This is the second time I've been to this hotel and I really like it. But do you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's people that make places. So
Correct.
it doesn't matter where I am. What matters to me is who I'm with, who I'm surrounded by, the energy. And I have to say, the energy yesterday in Parliament and today, the energy has been absolutely fantastic. So I'm so happy to be here and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're sandwiched between some incredible personalities.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being in London?
Absolutely great. You know, Fatima, yesterday listening to everybody's great stories and to be among such people and you and everyone is really an honor.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to receive a special honour in British Parliament, in the Houses of Parliament?
You know, this is like a memory that I'll always cherish. And it's such a privilege to see up front and be in the Parliament, in the British Parliament, and, you know, have that experience and to be recognized. You know, I'm so deeply humbled.
When you say have that experience, were you referring to the fish and chips we had?
I loved it. I loved
Proper
it.
British grub.
I
Grub
loved
is a
it.
word we use a lot, don't we?
I loved it
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Dr. Sia? What do you think about British fish and chips and your experience in Parliament yesterday?
The Parliament was amazing because every detail there was a story,
Yeah.
which really amazed me because I'm a storyteller and I love other people's stories.
Yeah.
And also the fish and chips, it's more than the fish and chips, how we enjoyed it. I always says, food is not food unless you eat with the right people.
Correct.
Right?
true.
Correct.
So when you're surrounded with right people, the food becomes something that delicious, right? So for me, the essence was there. Yes, we were in the British Parliament. We got the honor. Yeah. Then sharing the stories and being equal, because a lot of people speak about diversity, equality, but it's equity that matters and empathy.
So true.
So that's what I was enjoyed, because awards comes and go, but not the stories.
Absolutely.
And you made those stories so personalized, and you gave each and every one us a value, right? That matters, because we will take that, me personally will take what you said in my heart, that it's a honor, because I have 985 women all over the world whom I have given award.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And you gave me an award, not just an award, but you opened a lot of doors. As we see her as an actress, but beyond the actress, the real human being,
Amazing.
right? And her story of how the friends, and when time to reflect, that was something, and I wrote that in my this thing, because I write about people, I collect about people. That's
Yeah.
something I collect.
Yeah.
And also, you know, when the life fails out, she
Yeah.
said, life was failing for me.
Yeah.
But I had a hope,
Yes.
and I became an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So that gave me another hope. So I think that's what I'm taking out,
Yeah.
which I'm taking, coming out from the Parliament with the fish and chips,
Yeah.
The source for me was those stories.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's amazing.
nice.
That's amazing. And that brings me really well on to Hasina, because you mentioned the word value, and you guys don't know this, but weeks before when I told her she's receiving this honour, because I've known her for a long time, she had this imposter syndrome. Oh, I don't deserve it. Why me? Now that you've gone through the experience and you were recognised, now tell me, what was that like for you? And it's definitely, women have to, I think as women as well, we tend to always feel like we're just getting on with stuff, we're just doing a job. So when it comes to the accolades, we sometimes do feel that, well, do I really deserve it? Why do we doubt ourselves? Men never do that.
No, they
So now
don't,
you
do
tell
they?
me. Now you tell me, now that you've gone through it.
Well, I have to say, imposter syndrome is something throughout my career and probably throughout my life that has reared its ugly head at times. And for me personally, that's part of the challenge. We as women, as you say, have a greater challenge in some ways. Now, these wonderful ladies they were talking about yesterday, and one of the things I realized, as much as we are all women of color, we all have our individual identities because we've been through our individual journeys and our struggles and challenges. And all of us here then have reached this point where we are now. And sometimes, as you said, she almost had to fight me because I said, no, there are people who are far more worthy from my community who have their own challenges and their stories to
And
tell.
just so these guys know, I gave her a list of the ones that she gave me and said, this is what they've done and this is what you've done. Now tell me.
Ah,
But I think part of it is that it's because we're women, but it's also because of the cultural backgrounds that we come from. We've seen our mothers, and what do? They just get on with the job. They just do what they need to do to look after their families. They don't complain. We can. I feel my generation, we complain so much, despite the fact we have so many conveniences and things at our disposal. And maybe part of it is because of that. We're taught to be very humble. We're taught to just get on with the job. We are not used to blowing our own trumpet. And that's why we need people like you to bring us all together so that we can share our stories, so that we can share our struggles. And hopefully then that will resonate with other people. And they will think that, if they've done it, I can do it as well. And because the other thing is I feel that we don't have enough role models. We have some amazing ones like you guys, but if we look, up to maybe 10, 15 years ago, we didn't see brown women on TV. I mean, I used to get really excited when Goodness Gracious Me came on because it was the first time I was seeing brown women who were empowered and independent and funny. And so, within our communities, though, we have struggled at times. That's really changed, as I say, in the last 10, 15 years. And that's why we need to carry on doing what we've been doing with people like you, creating the platforms and bringing us women together to share our stories and our struggles and our strengths.
Yeah, fantastic. No, really well said. And when I was looking at doing this roundtable with the three of you, you've all come from completely different industries. You've all seen huge successes in your work, but then people also still just put us down as women. And you've all got something in common, and I'm going to talk about marriage. I've never experienced marriage. I've never been married. I'm single. I'm in my 40s. And I always get asked the question, why are you single? What's it to do if I'm single? If I want to be single, I should be allowed to be. A 40-plus man will never get asked that question. And each of you, you've experienced divorce, both of you, Hasina, yourself, and Manisha. And Dr. Segera, you've actually experienced, your husband playing away. I want to ask you the question about that in your journeys, in your life. Is that an obstacle? Is that a barrier even now? And also, we're still single, we're all above 40. If a man was, had separated, it's quite easy for men to move on in life. And nobody questions them about their marriage. And why did it fail? Or why did this happen to you? But why do women always get questioned? well, why are you single? Why did you divorce? Why did you leave your husband? What do you guys have to say on that? Who wants to go first? I'm happy.
I can.
Yeah.
The thing is, basically, I feel it's culturally. There is a certain pressure on women to make the marriage work. And somehow the blame goes on to her. No matter what, the people are hugely judgmental towards women. They would say maybe because of her, he's not long. It's always a woman's fault.
Yeah.
The pressure is so much
Yeah.
to make it work, and
For you, it must have been even more because you're a public figure.
absolutely
Your life's on show.
Absolutely. So I feel that needs to change because people need to speak up, and many times, it's not the woman. There's a problem somewhere else, and or maybe two people just don't get along. For God's sake, nothing. But the pressure is always on women.
Yeah, and do you think it's
Always.
harder because of the career that you have, and all three of you are very successful and professional? Is it a lot harder for women like us?
People don't think that women can survive without men. I don't know why. So
so wrong.
honestly, I mean, you're single and you're rocking and you're thriving. All of us are thriving in our
Yeah.
own careers, and it's like a man can be okay being single,
Yeah.
but a woman being single is bichara.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not getting the right guy, or bichara.
They think there's something wrong.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What do you
She's
think,
very
Hasina?
correctly said.
No, I think everything that you've said. And sometimes, you know what? It's nobody's fault. It's just two people.
Don't get wrong.
For whatever reason, it didn't work out. But you're so right. It's the woman that's questioned, and the men. You're right. Also, do very quickly tend to carry on with their lives. But it's the woman, and sometimes a lot of it is because of some of the cultural stigmas in our communities. It's usually the woman who is with the children, stay with the mother, and that that's a good thing as long as the fathers are given access. But because of that, sometimes I found personally in our community there are men who are divorced themselves and have children themselves, but they don't want to marry a woman who's got a child or children.
Yeah.
They don't want to take on that responsibility. This is something that I found when my son was alive. The other thing is, I think there's an ageism as well that's involved in our communities, and it's certainly something I've experienced. A man over the age of 40 can go off and get married, but a woman over the age of 40 or 50, I've been told personally, oh, well, that's your life is done.
Over.
now.
Over. Really?
It's over. Yeah.
Expired.
And expired. That's exactly what it is. Women have an expiry date. I think it happens in the
every
mainstream.
aspect, even
Yeah.
in career.
Two. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In the film industry, it's
Yeah.
massive, isn't it?
Yeah. And in the media, and wherever we look,
Yeah.
but there is an expiry date that's put on women, and part of that is because women are labelled, right? Women are put into boxes, they're put into pigeonholes, and once we step out of that convenient label of being somebody's wife, being somebody's daughter, and trying to create an independent identity of our own and follow our passions and our dreams, it becomes very difficult for them to label us. They don't know where to put us. They don't know what box we fit in anymore. And that's a challenge for them. That's something they have to overcome. It's not a challenge for us.
So true.
Yeah.
We do what we do.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
we live our lives.
And what
Exactly.
about you, Dr. Segera? Your husband cheated, and you were told by your community. So what if he's cheating you? At least he's coming home to you on a night. That is.
Yeah, when we were young and
Yeah.
all that, it's something that I have realized is women don't repeat mistakes, right? And
Oh, I do.
No, that's because women are being told to be perfect,
Yeah.
right? So we are not allowed to repeat mistakes, and also we were told that we have to take the blame of everything. And firstly, as I said, women judge us more than men judge us. No men will come and ask why you are not married, why you don't have kids. Right? It's always
Interesting.
a woman who will ask, oh, you're
Yes.
still not married?
Yes.
You didn't meet the right person? Or you don't have kids? Is something wrong with you? Right? So I think that why I look at it is women should start supporting women.
So true.
Right?
Definitely.
That's
I agree,
something
yeah.
I always say,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
always say, women who does not support for women goes for another hell. That is something they cannot come back.
Yeah.
But in meanwhile, we also carry baggages,
Yeah.
women, and we don't want to go through that pain. And we are happy with when we feel that we are being that, we are happy in that, and we don't want to do that again. But people does not, and even we women does not understand. It's okay to have a second chance, right? And we also humans. We also have needs. We also,
Yeah.
but we get so protective
Yes.
over ourselves, and we live for others. Our dreams, as she said, we put expiry dates on everything in our lives. But if you ask, when men get separated, they go for another woman. When women get separated, they go home.
True.
Right? Because for us, we look at what society's judgment, what society is going to tell us. And therefore, we put our own comfort zone, own rules. Women make society norms, not men. So we as women, I think,
Yeah.
when my husband and also I was very young, both of them were young,
Yeah.
we were like, whatever he does, I want to do it to him.
Yeah.
I never felt it. Then when I realized today what stupid I have been, then I was thinking, no, that was me. But if you ask me today, I will do the same. No, I will not.
Yeah.
But it does not mean I cannot fall in love again.
Yes.
But will the society will look at and say, oh, this woman having 2 kids, right, and doing this and have a man in life.
Yeah.
Will society, but a man living alone, oh, he's alone, he need to have a woman.
Exactly. To look after him.
To look after him. We have become babysitters, And then if we have a man, why do she's bringing a man home?
Yeah.
But when a man is single and divorced, if she bring he needs someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is where we have stuck in, and we women, women will break this.
Yeah.
But then when 1 or 2 women break it, they will be slammed, but
Yes.
there's more women who will get benefited from that.
Correct.
I just want to add one more
Yeah.
thing in this.
Yeah.
I've always said this in many platforms that women are really good caregivers.
Yes.
It's time they start caregiving themselves.
We receive it as well. Yes.
Because if you're healthy and if you're this thing, then only you can really look after other people as well.
Correct.
So
Correct.
just prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
And honor yourself, and then of
That
course
is
look
so
after
important.
whoever you love to look
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
But don't forget yourself in the bargain,
No.
in the process.
That is so true. You're absolutely right. And what Dr. Segura said about society's judgments on us. And this is why the 3 of you are so remarkable, because you basically put 2 fingers up to society's judgments and decided to create your own paths, pave your own way, and that's why you are all where you are. And obviously we haven't got very much time for this interview, so that leads me to my final question. You have all got the strength to be able to say, no, I'm not going to be put into your box. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Despite all the adversity the 3 of you have faced, you've been resilient in the face of that and faced that adversity head on. So how did you be able to find that strength, firstly? I've heard a lot of your answers, but I'm sure you're going to be able to give us another brilliant one. And what message would you have for people watching this to give them that hope to do what you have done?
I come from a strong belief that it's your life, and if you honor your life and you own your life, your responsibility towards your health, your well-being, your happiness, your joy, your thriving, everything, automatically other people get motivated. seeing you doing that, seeing you leading a good life, and that's the bottom of it, I feel.
Yeah. No, so true. What about yourself?
I think I would kind of echo what both these wonderful ladies have said, that yes, we also are, we put ourselves into that box where we are the caregivers, and that's a beautiful thing. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that, but it's exactly what Manisha Ji said. And I would add to that and say, we as women are so kind to others around us that sometimes we forget to be kind to ourselves.
So true.
And that is something that we must be. I remember all the thoughts I had, when my son died, or when I was in the situation where I was in that arranged marriage. I wanted to keep my father happy. I wanted to keep my family happy. I wanted to keep my relatives happy. And eventually I had the courage to go for the divorce because I realized, actually, you know what, it's 11 years. I need to start making myself happy because we have one life. And when it's over, we are not going to come back. And we won't, it's not a dress rehearsal. We won't get to relive our lives again. And really, it's my responsibility now to shape my future and my path. And happiness and kindness are going to be the biggest things that I give to myself. And
Absolutely.
that will be my message to everybody. Yes, we can look after other people. We can take care of our families, but we can also go for our own ambitions and our dreams. And most of all, just be kind to yourself.
Absolutely. Bang on.
Totally. And what about yourself?
It's a very simple way. Anyone can be successful, but few can be happy. Choose happiness over success. Because
Nice.
we strive to be successful, forgetting that happiness is the key for success. Success is not the key for happiness.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wow. So powerful. And this is why you guys are remarkable, because the words that have come out from each question that I asked, I'm just like, all right, how is this going to get topped? And it just gets topped. Whether it's going back that way or that way, it just gets even more powerful. So thank you so much. Thank you for accepting our award. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for letting us celebrate you and keep being amazing and keep being our role models and inspiring generations to come.
Thank you so much
Thank
for having
you.
me. Deeply humbled. Thank you, darling.